and perhaps even a Talmudic. So I do this because I believe, and again I'm quick on that, and I get to my example. I believe that the question of criticizing the Eurocentric cultural legacy which we have inherited and that has been universalized in the sense that I was indicated, calls for discussions which essentially take into account the materiality of language and the use of words. If I return essentially to, at the beginning at least, to words, names, formulas, and the language in which they are expressed, this is not because I believe that the issues here are purely verbal. I completely agree that they are historical in the broad sense. They concern institutions. They concern culture. But the dialectics, the changes, the bifurcations, I was saying that a moment ago, that make precisely the materiality or produce the materiality of history in the framework of institutions and cultures can be grasped, I believe, only if we start with paying a very accurate attention to the use of words. I have been trying to find philosophical formulas to express this privilege I grant to philological or linguistic issues, and I didn't want to stay purely with the category I was alluding to a moment ago, that is, say something like this is a symbolic element. I think that perhaps we could say that language, and I will try and give examples of that, is characterized in its historical use and transformation by an extraordinary conjunction of opposites. This morning Boaventura was referring to a great theologian and philosopher, Nicolaus Cusanus, and he beautifully referred to the notion of docta ignorantia, the learned ignorance. I will not repeat what he said, but there is another aspect, I believe, of this doctrine that also passes, in fact, to people like Pascal and others, and ultimately Hegel, of course, which is the idea of the unity of the opposites, coincidentia oppositorum in Latin. Now, the unity of opposites is a paradoxical trope, if you like, that permanently influences and determines the transformation of language. What characterizes language is both stability and instability. It's the unstable stability of words. You keep that citizenship, but in fact, what they cover is progressively becoming not only different or other, but in a sense the exact opposite of what it used to mean initially. Just as it's characterized by something I'm tempted to call the translatable untranslatability. Take a Greek word or Latin word, I'm coming to this right now, that we translate as citizen or as city. it didn't mean that. And here I'm not even trying to reach other cultures or civilizations that I don't know, I have to confess that, or only very superficially. Or perhaps like Vernon and others, I'm trying to look at the Greeks, especially the Greeks perhaps, by becoming aware of the extent to which they are not, in fact, Europeans in the sense that we attach to this word today. They are a civilization of the Middle East. In any case, they are a civilization of the Mediterranean, with aspects that we have appropriated, or we expropriated them of that of those meanings, and we appropriated them to create something